Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's May the 12th. We haven't met for a couple of weeks for these Monday meditation moments. I am so happy that you're here. Whether you are here with us now, live in real time, or whether you're going to access this at some later point, thank you for being part of this community of practice. All right. So, um, as always, please take some time to get yourself settled into your seat and make sure that you are as comfortable as you can be. And when you feel that you are ready to begin to enter into this stillness, let me invite you to just let your eyes very gently and softly close. Today, as we begin our time together, we draw upon familiar words from the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, familiar because we sing them so often, these words, to various melodies. Hine, behold, ma tov, how good it is, uma na'im, and how pleasant, shevet achim gam yachad, when we dwell together, or literally when we sit together in unity. How good it is, ma tov, and how pleasant it is, ma na'im, to just have this opportunity to be still, to let go of obligation, to let go of expectation and judgment, and just to be yachad, to be together, to be in unity. In unity, in oneness, not only with each other, but also to come into greater unity, greater alignment with our own minds and our own hearts. And as well to be aligned and in unity with our lived and felt and sensed experience of being here right now. There is instruction in the way that the Hebrew language frames the word that we would translate as experience. The Hebrew root He Yud He, Haya, is a root that means being, to be. We find the root Haya in the response that God gives to Moses at the burning bush when Moses asks what he should tell his people when they want to know the name of this God who has sent him, who has sent Moses to liberate them. God spells out a name that is made up almost entirely of this verb haya, to be or being. God says, my name is Ehyeh, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I am what I am, or I will be what I will be, or I am that which is being itself. And also from this root haya, we get the Hebrew word hoveh, which means present, as in present tense. And from that word hoveh, present, we get the beautiful Hebrew word havaya, and havaya means experience. And there is a beautiful connection there, a beautiful soul connection, if you will. That experience comes from presence, from being present. And when we pay attention to the feelings and sensations in our bodies, because they are happening right now as we experience them, we can also have a havaya, an experience of what is happening in this moment. So very often our minds are handing us stories or thoughts that yank us backward into something that's already happened, or sometimes those stories and thoughts that our minds weave for us that distract us from the present moment, pull us harshly into a future that hasn't yet arrived. Worries and fears and the like. But havaya, experience, comes from the word hoveh, present, now, what is happening in this moment. And in sitting like this, in sitting together, gam yachad, as we are right now, we can all practice intentionally and deliberately. We say with kavanah, with purpose and intention. We can work to train our minds and our hearts to deliberately and intentionally be more focused on the present and less distracted by thoughts that have no substance, thoughts that may be harsh or self-defeating. Hine ma tov u'manayim, see how good and pleasant it is, right now, this moment, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, to sit together in unity, right now. So let's, with great ease and gentleness, let's shift our attention to the lived and physical experience of breathing, so that on the next in-breath you notice all the subtle and not so subtle movements in your body as your lungs inflate. And then on the next out breath, letting your attention rest upon the complementary movements in your body as your lungs deflate. We'll spend the next couple of minutes with this focus upon our breath, being curious about each in-breath and each out-breath, taking an interest in the experience of breathing, and just coming back to the breath without any fanfare or criticism whenever we realize that our minds have wandered away. Let's sing together Hine Matov Umanayim. There's a melody I think that we may have sung once before. It might not be familiar to you, but it's quite simple. It's easy to pick up. Let's sing it a few times. Hine Matov Umanayim Sheverachim Gam Yachad. 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 Okay. Do take your time in opening your eyes. And when you feel that the time is right for you, you are welcome to let them open. So, wanted to refer back, as we have been doing, to the fact that we are in a period of time when in Jewish tradition we do this practice called the counting of the Omer. And it just so happens, the way the Jewish calendar worked out, that these Mondays when we meet, that each Monday is the beginning of a new week. So time flies, and today is the beginning of the fifth week of the 7 weeks of the counting of the Omer. And in fact, today is the 29th day of the counting of the Omer, which is pretty incredible. The theme of this week, going back to this idea of these sphirot, these divine qualities that radiate out into creation, that comes from Kabbalah, from Jewish mysticism. The theme is Hod. And Hod is sometimes translated as splendor or glory. In fact, a number of these sphirot, I meant to mention this a couple of weeks ago, a number of these sphirot, of these emanations, are actually mentioned in the song that we sing, the first song when we do a hakafah, when we walk around the synagogue with the Torah. We sing, Lecha Adonai hagidula v'hagivura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod. And Gvura and Netzach and Hod, these are all among the names of these sphirot, of these qualities. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I wanted to share with you just a little bit of what, again, my favorite Sfirat Omer book, of what Rabbi Minkantrowitz says in her book about the counting of the Omer. This is her understanding of the week of Hod, this week that we're in. She says, when a pebble is tossed into a pond, great metaphor for being here on the Cape, lots of ponds. When a pebble is tossed into a pond, a long series of rippling rings appears, radiating away from the original source of the pebble's impact. Looking closely, the surroundings are reflected slightly differently in the waters of each ring. This image can help us understand Hod, the sphira, the emanation that reflects the splendor and glory underlying the created world. Although human faces have eyes, noses, and ears, no two people look exactly alike. Subtle differences exist, even between identical twins whose genetic material matches exactly. Parents and friends can tell them apart. God's emanation through Hod reminds us of those myriad slight distinctions, variations, on an awesome overall theme. And then she goes on to talk about the idea that no two snowflakes are entirely identical, and tells some other great stories around that. So there you go. This is a week to be in touch with splendor in the sense of variation, varied life forms, varied experiences. And I want to say this is a especially beautiful time to be thinking about Hod, about this multiplicity, this splendor, here on Cape Cod in the springtime, when things are moving so dramatically from a dormant state, a winter state, to a spring state, all kinds of plant life bursting forth with leaves and flowers, rabbits and chipmunks and, yes, coyotes and all the other animal life, squirrels, begins to be seen again. And of course, the wonderful birds, the bird song. I think in many ways, just the avian life, the birds of this part of the country, could be a meditation on Hod, on variety and on splendor. Anyway, there we go, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you perhaps over Shabbat, or right back here again next Monday. Take care, everyone. Have a good week. Bye-bye.